the Blues acquire Kevin Hayes, the Flyers will retain 50% of Hayes' remaining salary to get this 6th-round pick in 2024 in return. So what do you make exactly of this move? It seems like Philly, certainly, we know they were going to be in the rebuild, but they've got the green light to have a full teardown. And certainly St. Louis hoping it helps them as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we haven't seen in Philadelphia since my time playing for the New Jersey Devils in the National Hockey League and being with the organization and around the league for almost 40 years. I just haven't seen the Philadelphia Flyers rebuild. Every team usually has to go through it.
Yeah.
But obviously, the new regime taking over with Keith Jones as president, and certainly Daniel Briere, they've gotten the green light. Exactly what you're talking about. I went blank there for a second.
And he beat all the former Flyers.
But it takes courage, right, to do that, because it's such a passionate fan base. Flyers have been a successful organization for a long time. I know they haven't won a cup, but it's a team that has high expectations for so many years. And it is what you'd call a teardown a little bit here, and trying to regroup and rebuild and get them back to prominence.
Yeah, I think the quicker you tear it down, sometimes if you do it properly, the quicker you can get back to prominence of being a really good NHL franchise, which Philly's on track to do once they take care of business like this. And for Kevin Hayes, the one thing that I look at there is he goes to St. Louis now, and what's that going to look like in that dressing room? They've been retooling. They didn't do a full teardown either. They're a group that continues to, after winning a Stanley Cup, get rid of some pieces, bring some bodies in. That's a sign that they're probably ready to go with 3 first-round picks. I'm excited to see if they add more and if they're going to be ultra competitive next year. But that guy, Craig Berube, I think he's got his work cut out for him, because I'm a big Hayes fan. I really am. I think at times you watch him, he looks a little bit casual, and I think those are the holes that you can poke in his game. But a guy with a ton of ability and with the right coach, I think he can find his game at levels that he didn't quite find in Philly. But I look at it, you got Kyrou, you've got Thomas, you've got Vrana. The list goes on of guys that are all really good players, but they probably need to be pushed just that little bit more. And I think Craig Berube's going to have his work cut out, but all guys with extremely high potential. Add Kapanen to that group as well. That's a mix of 5 forwards that are really good, but you're going to need to push the right button. So Craig Berube's the right man for the job, but I think he's got his work cut out.
I agree with you. He's got his work cut out, but he's the man for the job. He's a no-nonsense type of coach, and in fact called Kyrou and Thomas out last year on a few occasions that we need more from you. We need more push. And certainly Kevin Hayes, he's a talented, big, strong centerman. He's going to a team that not far removed from a Stanley Cup championship, and that's why it's a lot harder to tear it down if you're the Blues. And not that they have to just yet. I mean, obviously they think they can get back to promise, because you get in the playoffs.
Anything
We've
can happen.
seen it. Anything can happen, and the Blues feel if they get back to the playoffs.
They know it better than anyone, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah. After being last
Cinderella
place
story.
when they won the Cup in January at the time and winning it all. So I think a lot of teams believe that way, and they're hoping they can get the best of Kevin Hayes because he kills penalties. He can play on the power play. He can play in every situation. And when you're that big and that skilled, you just hope you push the right buttons, get the most out of him, and that's Craig Berube's job.